Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the Dragon Radar podcast. We are your hosts, Heeroh and Ajoten. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well, and I'm ready for a 14th discussion. How about yourself?
I'm also ready for a discussion, ready to get into it. So let's begin with Roshi's rant.
Let's go.
This is Roshi's Rant.
This is Roshi's rant, the first section of the podcast where we deep dive into a topic regarding Dragon Ball. And this week we're talking about the Hyperbolic Time Chamber and if it is a bad plot device or not. So, what do you think? You can begin this conversation. Do you think it's a bad plot device? Do you think it's needed? Or, do they just do it for free power-ups?
It was fine. It was totally fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was use it twice, and then that's it. You cannot use it anymore. There's the threat of being locked in after you've had your 48 hours, and then it can never be used again.
Yeah.
And basically, it's not just a threat for you because it impacts other people. Because if you're in for the 48 hours, not only are you locked in, but it impacts other people because other people then can't go in because they can't rescue you or anything like that. So it impacts others. But then they cheated and they thought, well, that's kind of inconvenient. So what we do, we'll blow it up. And then when we magically decide to rebuild it,
There's no time
now
constraints.
it can do for 3 days. And
Yeah.
oh, by the way, with those 3 days, they reset. And so now if you've had your 2 days, it doesn't matter. You can have 3 days.
Yeah.
So now, in other words, you can have 5 days in total.
Mm.
It's basically the exact same principle as the Dragon Balls, where the old Dragon Balls, whilst they had really strong limitations, the new Dragon Balls were like so much better.
Yeah.
And you happen to have 2 wishes instead of just the one. It's just they had such good limitations to them, and they were too limiting, and so they were just like, that's a bit tough, and they just kind of rolled with it. And they've actually done that again further down the line. They've done it with Whis' staff. I don't know if you've realized, but Whis' staff is actually a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, of course it is, because he can make his own mini dimension.
Yeah, Beerus called it that place. And it's basically Goku called it, or compared it to the hyperbolic time chamber, except with God Key. So basically, but there was no indication that there was any limitations on it.
Yeah.
So basically, and now that's the equivalent of their power level. So now the hyperbolic time chamber, especially considering Vegeta's blew it up 1,000,000 times now. So, and as a side point, he's blew it up 1,000,000 times so they could just rebuild it and say it's 4 days now.
Yeah.
Whis' staff is basically it's unlimited. They can just keep going in there and in there and in there, and there's no inherent limitations for them to go in there, and they can just keep powering up in there instead.
Yeah.
It's such, they've just kind of shrugged it off and just said it was handy, so we'll just keep doing it, basically. So
Yeah, I don't like it as a concept, if I'm honest. I think it's cheap. Like, it's an easy way to get around a giant power up in a short amount of time. Is just them going in here. Yeah, we'll just go in here for a year, and then we'll get strong and come out, and only a day will have passed in real time, so don't worry about it. And yeah, I've never liked it, if I'm honest.
see, I thought it was fine if you had the 2-day limitation and it was
Yeah.
locked at that. I don't see there's anything wrong with that, because if they never changed it and if they had blown up and rebuilt it, if you then couldn't go back in, so if you'd still had your 2 days and that was it, then I still wouldn't have had a problem with that. If they then said, yeah, you can have like 3 days, but it then hadn't reset for people, so like then maybe someone could have an extra day, I would still be a bit funny with it. But giving people like 5 days, like Vegeta, like 5 days and stuff like that, it's like it's still a stretch.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening like those odd couple of days, because then you're throwing it like the Cell games. It's like, yeah, Cell, because Cell gets this ridiculous power up from absorbing someone. So it's like, fair enough, you give the good guy something. Yeah. It's like we were talking about with the Dragon radars. You give the bad guy something, you give the good guy something. Keep it fair. So you give the good guys this one-time thing to give them a boost. It's not constant. They can't keep doing it. They have this one option that allows them to power up, but they can't just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Whereas because they blew it up and now they get the 3 days, they can't just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And they're just altering the story to make it convenient. They're not being creative. They're just, again, the Wii staff thing is just a different version of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. It's cheap.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like it. They should have done something else. It's what kind of annoyed me about Super Saiyan Blue. It just appeared out of nowhere. They should have explored Red more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and it's why I don't like that Vegeta just got skipped over. They did it Vegeta with Super Saiyan 3, and like, I don't really like Super Saiyan 3, but it's the same principle, is the fact that Vegeta just got skipped over entirety. He went from 2 to blue. Like, yeah, he got red in Broly, but that's kind of just that was fan service. That was literally nothing but fan service. Pure and simple.
Yeah. I guess Vegeta is the one who abuses the time chamber the most. Like, I've got it written down, all of them, so we'll go through. First people to use it are Goku and Gohan together before the fight for Cell, which is fine. They're in for a whole year, or 1 day in real life time, so that's fine. They didn't abuse it too much. They're in for half of the time that they could have at the time before they're trapped in there forever. So, you know, they left it open for another go at some point in the future, which was fine. Piccolo also enters for Cell, and then so does Vegeta and Trunks. They go in together again for another year each. That's all good. And then Goten and Trunks use it for the Boo fight, but only for 1 hour, which is about 2 weeks inside the chamber. Which they didn't really use it for long because they didn't have much time, but still 2 weeks of training. Did they do much in that time? I guess so. It helped them slightly, but yeah, 2 weeks inside. Goku and Vegeta, this is after they changed the rules. They go back in it again during Super for 3 years. And yeah, again, that's just a power-up. They don't even show much in the show of them being in there. But they're in for 3 years, the longest time anyone's been in by a long time at this point. And then Vegeta goes in again during the future Trunks saga for 6 months. And then Vegeta goes in another time for 1 hour just before the tournament of power starts, which is not a long time, but again, that's like 2 weeks inside the chamber for 1 hour of real life time. So Vegeta's been in there a lot. He's blew it up a lot, like you mentioned as well.
Yeah.
And you know,
there was another time Goku went in with Kami in original Dragon Ball for a month.
Ah, yes, well. That's right.
Yeah. But he punked out because he couldn't handle the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't done the Namek bit yet.
That's true.
But would that not screw his timeline off, though?
No, I guess not, because if he was in there for a month, that's not so long. And then he was in for a year with Goku and Gohan, and then that's the only times he uses it before they change the rules. So he's still got like 11 months of time he could have used it before they changed the rules.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Because, yeah, he only went in the once, and then Vegeta did his thing, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing, because I know you said you were fine with it, and I kind of agree for the first 2 uses. You know, Goku and Kami going in, that was fine. It was unique, it was new. They showed what the time chamber was. They shown what can happen inside and all that stuff. Great stuff. And then when Goku and Gohan go in together when they enter for Cell, there's a lot of story progression that happens within the time chamber that you see. After that, though, when Piccolo goes in, when he trains to fight Cell, you see maybe one scene where he's just meditating and that's it. When Vegeta and Trunks go in, I don't even think you see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, every other time when Goten and Trunks go in, you don't really see much. When Goku and Vegeta go in for 3 whole years, you don't see much again. It's like one scene and that's it. Vegeta going in again before the Future Saga, nothing. Vegeta going in for 1 hour before the tournament, nothing. So it's like they go in to train and you don't even see what happens anymore. It's literally, okay, yeah, I got stronger. And that's it.
Yeah, because don't Vegeta and Trunks go in first and they just come out and Vegeta basically says, I'm stronger than you now, Goku. And it's like, you kind of want to see why he's stronger. You don't really...
No, they go in after Goku and Goten because Vegeta gets jealous that Goku and Goten have this huge power-up, so he drags Trunks in to train to get stronger.
Gohan, you mean? Is it? Is it not?
No, Vegeta drags Trunks in to train because he wants to get stronger than Goku and Gohan because he sees the power up that they got from the chamber.
I thought it was Vegeta and Trunks going first, and then followed by Goku and Gohan.
Is it? I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah.
I thought Vegeta was jealous
because they go fight in Perfect Cell, and Gohan and Goku sit on Kami's tower, chilling.
I thought this was when Goku and Gohan were chilling just in Super Saiyan the whole time because they came out of the time chamber and were just walking around Super Saiyan the whole time.
Yeah.
Was this not before? I feel like it was, but I can't even remember fully now. Because I thought Vegeta gets jealous and that's why he goes in, because he can't stand the fact that Goku and Gohan got so much stronger and they can just walk around Super Saiyan the whole time.
I'm going to have to check this now.
Yeah, well, while they're doing that, I guess I'll continue talking anyway. Because, yeah, the time chamber was fine when they showed what can happen inside, but now they use it as a plot device just to say that, yeah, this is how I got stronger. It was the time chamber, don't worry about it. We don't need to see what I did in there to get stronger. But trust me, like, I was in there for a year, or I was in there for 6 months, or however long. I did some stuff that you don't need to see, but yeah, I'm stronger now, much stronger. Don't worry about it. And I don't like it. It was fine when they showed what happened, but they don't anymore, and that's what ruined it. And it is just a bad plot device to show them getting stronger.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So yeah, it was first got used by Vegeta and Trunks together, next by Goku and Gohan, then by Piccolo, then Vegeta again, and finally by Trunks.
Right,
so it was because that's when Trunks and Vegeta went after Cell. Yeah. So basically, because Vegeta comes out and he gets to finally flex on Goku, and he's happy that he's stronger than him finally for a bit. But I think that's bad. That's really, really bad, because it's like Vegeta's stronger than Goku, and that's such a big deal in the whole story of Dragon Ball.
They don't even show how.
Yeah, it's that's such a big deal.
It's in the time chamber. Don't worry about it. and we as viewers are just supposed to be like, yeah, it makes sense, and not question it. But it's like, how? Hold on, how is he so much stronger now? What did he do? What difference is he making in like a year of free time that gets him so much stronger?
That's actually really cheap. I think they used it in the Buu Saga, and they tried to use it quite interestingly in the Buu Saga by trying to lock Buu in.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that. I think they should have got rid of it for good there. That would have been quite cool.
Yeah. See what happens when you're actually locked inside.
Yeah, and it's done. But I don't think they should have brought it back for Super. I think they should have just let it go there. It could have failed to keep Buu in. That's fine, but I think they should have just let it go.
Yeah. Like Buu could have blown it up when he was trapped inside and got out, and then that should have been the end of it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like there was no reason for it to be in Super, and I don't agree with the Whis thing at all. I don't like the Whis thing. He's an angel. He doesn't like, surely he's got better ways than here, jump inside my stick. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess, because like Goku and Vegeta go in for 3 years in Super, and it's just like, it's no big deal. And did they get stronger during this time? I guess so. But you don't
You
even
just have to
really
trust
see,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't see any noticeable difference apart from they're saying they're stronger. Like they have no new techniques, no new forms. They're just now
They have
stronger.
beards. They have
They
beards.
did briefly, which I guess would happen if you didn't shave for 3 years. But apart from that, it's like, yeah, they're stronger, but what have they learned? Nothing really. Yeah.
I think it was just more. Yeah, it was literally an exposition dump on seeing beards. Literally, that was
Yeah.
what we learned, that they grow beards.
Yeah, I guess
Pretty much.
so. Because the whole canon thing was Saiyan's hair doesn't change during their life, but facial hair does now all of a sudden. Which makes sense because from the very start with Nappa, I guess he's the first Saiyan we see with facial hair. So it's obvious that facial hair can be
Somewhat.
grown because Nappa's not going to be born as a baby with a mustache or whatever, you know. So obviously,
You don't know
Saiyans.
that. Seeing babies might
Well,
have. Seeing babies might have beards.
potentially, but yeah, I think it was always a
Canon.
thing. Yeah. So I
But
mean, discussion for another time, but seeing Nappa or Super Saiyan since he has facial hair, that would have been nice to see. But yeah.
no, I think they should have left it as. I don't think they should have changed it. I think I would have been. I would have been happy with the 2 days. Should have left it at that.
Yeah.
And I mean, even 1 day or a single use, and whatever you get out of that use is it.
Mhm.
So Goku, after his time with Kami, like Kami stepped in with him and said, "Look, if you choose to leave, this was your one chance."
Mm.
And he left after the month, and Kami was basically like, "Okay, you had your chance. That's it. Tough."
Yeah, and then it could have been used in crunch time situations for everyone else, like Vegeta and Trunks going in for Cell, and Vegeta getting so much stronger and stuff at that time, and Trunks, I guess. That would have made sense, and that would have been their one use. And then Goku, since he couldn't have used it anymore, like Gohan would have maybe had to go in with Piccolo.
Yeah,
that
I was
would have
going to
made
say. I was
sense.
literally thinking that Piccolo. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they have their teacher. They have their like
student teacher
mentor thing
relationship.
going on. Yeah. So that would make sense because that's their arc. That was their arc throughout that entire part of Z. That made like he literally like was wearing his gi during that part of the Cell saga. Like he wasn't wearing his father's gi for that fight. Like it would have made sense.
And arguably, if they did that to make Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, and Vegeta all stronger than Goku at the time, since he can't use the time chamber, they could have changed the story so that at this time when all of these are going in the time chamber, Goku could be the one holding off Cell, since he knows he can't use it anymore. And they could have had an interesting story where Cell almost kills Goku, so then Goku can use the whole Saiyan Zenkai ability where the closer they are to death, the stronger they become the next time they heal. So Cell could have almost killed Goku, maybe even twice. Maybe he does it 2 times. Maybe, yeah, that's how he gets the huge power up.
And then he just instant transmissions out. Yeah. He has ways to escape.
Yeah. Cell almost killing Goku once or maybe even twice would have been a nice addition to the story. Because, yeah, Cell doesn't really get that big moment, I guess, where he almost kills a main character.
Yeah. I mean, he takes, like he kills Trunks, but Trunks isn't that really that important.
Yeah, like this is Trunks' story, I guess. The whole Android Cell saga is because of Trunks, and he turns into a background character kind of by the end of the saga because it focuses more on Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan.
Yeah. By that point in the story, he's about as important as Tien or Yamcha. Just he's very he
starts off very important and then gets less important throughout the arc.
Yeah,
which is annoying.
He's very redundant by that point. I can't really remember any of his dialogue by that point in the show.
No.
Which is that's not necessarily his fault. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of that point of Trunks, and it's not because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of him. It's just literally, there's nothing memorable about him at that point in the show. And that is a shame. And I remember a fair good part of him when he comes into it. Then, because it's very memorable when he first appears. So it is actually quite. Yeah, thinking about it's quite a shame that he does fade into the background. And thinking about it, you can slowly see it happen.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Because by the end of the arc, he's become quite strong again.
Mm-hmm.
And he had some, by the end of the arc, he has some brilliant moments, like when he returns to his timeline and he kills the androids again.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes from Z is when he kills the androids.
Mm-hmm.
Very powerful scene. I really enjoy it. Which is funny because, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan. So very odd. I can be very torn when it comes to Trunks.
Yeah, like if that was their only use, then yeah, that would make sense. It would make perfect sense because they don't use the time chamber anymore throughout Z, apart from when Goten and Trunks use it for the Boo fight, which I guess, even though the future Trunks has used it, Kid Trunks hasn't used it, so he would be fine to use it. This would be his one chance. And it would make sense for the two of them to go in together to train before the Boo fight, even if it is only for 2 weeks. You know, that's their one use, because Boo is the big threat at this point, and they feel like Gotenks is the only person who can take them down. But yeah, use it for them at that point. And then in Super, just don't use it anymore. Goku and Vegeta didn't need to go back in. Vegeta goes in 3 times. He just doesn't really need to. There's no need, really.
And technically, couldn't Trunks go in because, based on the timelines, this is getting a bit trippy, but if you go into the super timelines and how killing Zamazu and everything doesn't impact the other timeline, the Kid Trunks could still go in if future Trunks goes in.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they're 2 separate timelines.
Yeah.
So like the whole multiverse thing,
if
you look at it, it wouldn't impact, it wouldn't matter. They could still both go in.
Yeah.
So that doesn't impact them at all. I think it actually would. Talking about it now, I think it's a lot more interesting a concept if you can only use it once.
Yeah.
I actually much prefer that.
In key moments when it's needed. Yeah.
Yeah. You have one shot. Cammy said like this was your one chance. And if you're going to leave, you need to be sure. Because he spent that 1 month in and he left. And if he'd known this is Goku, would he have stuck it out?
Yeah. Probably, well, maybe slightly longer, but even if he didn't, the only villain where he has tested himself is 4-Cell, which he didn't really need to go in for. So,
well, he'd done 100 times. He'd done 100 times atmosphere. It's what 10 times in a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, the only thing it does is it gives you more time to train, pretty much.
Yeah, he went in for Gohan, really.
Yeah, which Piccolo could have, which would have made sense.
Yeah. So, no, I think it would be a lot more interesting for the story if they'd done a single use.
Yeah.
And definitely not a rebuild.
Yeah.
Especially a rebuild increase. That's silly. And Whis is just no.
I kind of hope they don't do that again. There's no real need for it. It is a plot device, and yeah, I think we both agree it's kind of a bad one. They've overused it now, they've ruined it, and yeah, I don't think they'll fix it, if I'm honest. But it's there. It's a bad plot device to say, yep, we got stronger. How? Time chamber. And that's it.
Because reasons.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap up that section now. It's been a bit of a long Roshi's rant. So yeah, let's move on now to...
That's why it's called a rant.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on now to the Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
And now it is time for the Hall of Fame.
And now it is time for the Hall of Fame, where myself and Heeroh battled out to see who is most worthy to enter this week's Hall of Fame. Last week was the best weapon in Dragon Ball. Heeroh, you chose the Power Pole, and I chose Trunks' sword. Do you have the results?
I do. So, the results, and the winner with 76% of the vote is the Power Pole.
Of course it will.
Yes, so Goku and his Power Pole going to the Hall of Fame this week, so congratulations to them. And congratulations to me for picking
yeah. Damn, you went first.
Yeah, well, yeah. Pick a better pick, and you'll also be first. You had it for you had it for
my pick.
You were first. You were first for 3 weeks in a row. I finally won one, and I get the win.
Fair.
Yeah,
you won.
So, what is the topic or pick for this week?
So this week is a topic that I'm surprised we've never touched on, and it is, of course, the best Z Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and this is as episode 14. I can't believe we haven't covered this yet.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised as well, to be honest. It's a pretty obvious choice to talk about, and it's taken us over 3 months to talk about it. Yeah, finally getting around it.
Just kind of plucked out thin air. So I think you might end up taking this, to be honest, if you're going first.
I am. So my pick for best Z Warrior, and we're not including Saiyans or half Saiyans. So yeah, my pick is Piccolo.
Ooh, I hadn't chose Piccolo, so it's going to be interesting.
I had a feeling you might have, so I'm a bit surprised. I had a backup pick as well, which might be yours, and if it is, then fair enough. But yeah, Piccolo is the best Z Warrior. And I based it kind on what he has done throughout the show, and also strength levels compared to the other Z Warriors. So I guess I'll get the obvious bit out of the way first. Strength levels. Looking down the list of all the Z Warriors, there's only potentially one person stronger than Piccolo. And I would say that is Android 18. And that's only because she has unlimited energy, so she can just go and go and go. Apart from that, arguably, Piccolo is the strongest Z Warrior, apart from the Saiyans as well, of course. But there's a few key moments that stand out to me which show that he is the strongest Z Warrior. Well, the best Z Warrior. He is in every single arc from the very beginning, and he's helpful in every single arc. From the very start against Raditz, he kills Raditz, and Goku, technically, as well. But he is the one who does that. He gets the finishing blow.
Is that not a detractor?
Kind of, but he defeats the threat that is there at the time. Even if it also kills Goku, he defeats the big bad of the moment.
Fair.
During, when Vegeta and Nappa first arrive, he's one of the main fighters in that section, and he sacrifices himself for Goku against Nappa, which is great. He's shown his loyalty to, well, at least Gohan, at least. Maybe not the rest of the guys, but at least Gohan. But he's there helping out anyway. During the Frieza arc, he is there on Planet Namek to help out, trying to defeat Frieza. He's a part of the team. He's part of the very limited team that is on Namek, but he's there helping out. During Buu, of course, he's there as well, helping out for some of it. During Super, this is a main point. He is the one who was training Gohan again. He's trying to get him into tip-top shape to get ready for the Tournament of Power. And he manages to defeat Gohan when Gohan's in Super Saiyan 2. Because, yes, it's his first fight in a while, but Piccolo defeats him. He chokes him out, makes him lose the Super Saiyan because of his long, stretchy arms. And, yeah, Gohan loses. And then, after that even, Gohan powers up again, gets ready for round 2. And Piccolo, Gohan chops off his arm. Piccolo's one-armed. And then they're kind of talking, and Piccolo kind of cheap shots him with a blast to the back because his arm is left hanging and he can still control it to do a blast attack. So he blasts Gohan in the back. Cheap shot, but it teaches Gohan to always be ready. And he kind of wins again. The second time. He definitely wins the first time. Second time questionable, but he still kind of gets the upper hand in the end. So yeah, he does a lot. He does training. He proves himself as strong. He proves himself as smart. And even in the Tournament of Power, he eliminates quite a few people. He eliminates Rubalt, who is just some random guy who's very forgettable. He's a blue guy with dreadlocks. Whatever. Not really anything of note, but he does eliminate him. He eliminates Pilana and Saunel, who are the two Namekians. From the other universe, he eliminates both of them with the help of Gohan, but it's a double team attack. Technically, it counts as eliminations for Piccolo as well, so that's 3 people. He eliminates Gamisalas, who is the invisible one from one of the universes, and I can't remember if I'm going to be able to pronounce this right or not, but Zinka, I think that's how you pronounce Zinka, who is like the chubby blue little alien guy. He eliminates him as well. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he eliminates 5 people during the Tournament of Power, which is pretty good. There's not many people who eliminate more than him, apart from the main characters of the Tournament of Power. But yeah, he does well. He's strong, he's smart, he's always training, he always helps out during every arc. So yeah, I would say he is the best Z Warrior. But what is your pick?
He's very much strategist. I do like Piccolo.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised you haven't picked him. I thought he was pretty much the obvious choice. So who are you going for?
No, I do love Piccolo. He is one of my boys.
Yeah.
But I am picking one of the OGs. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't go with him, Krillin.
Yeah, he wasn't actually my backup pick either. But yeah, fair enough.
My backup was actually Roshi.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But Krillin, I mean, my choices are Krillin, he's a comic relief. I love him.
Yeah.
Comic relief. Krillin, he's one of the OGs. Mm-hmm. He's earned his place. All right. He's been there since the start. All right. He's been by Goku's side since the start, training with Roshi. If anyone's earned their place as a Z Warrior, it's got to be Krillin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Found a member.
He's arguably one of the most compassionate characters in Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that makes a Z Warrior. Like a Z Warrior, they're the good guys.
Yeah.
And I think being the best Z Warriors, it's not just strength, it's like they're the good guys. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the most important things. Again, it's like it shows it. I mean, of all what the Z Warriors are now, like he's out there being a police officer and everything like that. He's always just being the good guy all the time. He's always got his trust in his boy Goku. He's always there. You see like Piccolo. Piccolo's always there in all the arcs. It's the same with Krillin. Yeah. It's like Krillin's died all the time, and the reason he's always dying is because he's always there. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's true.
He's died so many times. I mean, he's been a catalyst for so much because he's just dying. It's like he was the catalyst for arguably the most important thing in anime history was his death.
Yeah.
His death led to Super Saiyan. Like that's important. That's something you would want from Super Saiyan. I mean, he's Goku's best friend. Like that's just such an important thing. And to me, he's the poster boy for the Z Fighters. When I think of the Z Fighters, he's who I think of. In the orange geese of all the Z Fighters, that's who I see when I think of them. Like when I think of Piccolo, I see Piccolo. Yeah. I see Piccolo as like I see Vegeta. I see Piccolo. When I think of the Z Fighters, I see Krillin. Yeah. And he's in every arc and he's always there. He's always the first one into like. He just feels the antithesis of the Z Fighters. And I think that's why, to me, he's one of them. And I mean, and funnily enough, you say as part of Super that he beat Gohan. What did Krillin do before the Tournament of Power to Gohan?
I mean,
he beat him in a training fight.
Also true. Yeah.
They had a spar off because Gohan didn't think Krillin had what it takes. And Krillin beat him. He solar flared and knocked him out in a tournament setting.
Good point. Yeah.
When you think about it, Gohan didn't do himself any favors, did he?
Didn't you? Just getting shown up by everyone who he thought was weaker than him.
It's like Gohan's supposed to be team captain and he's just getting rolled by everyone.
It would have been embarrassing if like TN also beat him. Then it would have been like, wow, Gohan, okay, what is happening here?
Maybe you shouldn't be in the team.
Yeah. Where's
get
Yamcha? Let's get Yamcha in. He isn't useless.
But to me, I think Krillin, he's one of the originals. I think he's earned his place as the Z fighter, and I think he's been by Goku's side since the start. And I think to me, he is the Z fighter who everyone should look up to. And to me, that's why he's the best. Not necessarily because he's the strongest or anything like that, because he's what makes a Z fighter.
Yeah.
He is the poster boy of all Z fighters.
Fair enough. When you were talking about the things Krillin has done, I was thinking about the mistakes that both Piccolo and Krillin have made throughout Dragon Ball, I guess.
Yeah.
And the two that stand out to me, one for each of them. Piccolo's biggest mistake that he made throughout all of Dragon Ball. I don't even know if I would class it as a mistake, because I've already mentioned it, but him killing Goku when he killed Raditz. Maybe not a mistake, because he did take out the threat at the time. He wasn't technically a Z Warrior at the time, but that's probably the biggest thing that he did, which was a bad thing. He killed Goku. Krillin's biggest mistake that he made was that he could have killed Android 18 with the remote, and he didn't. And if he did that, Cell would never have become Perfect Cell, and they would have been able to defeat Cell a lot quicker. And
it is, but again, that's like, I think that puts more back to my point. It's just like it's his compassion. Like he can't kill someone he doesn't feel deserves to die. But also, he just really fancied her. It's which one was it? I think the thing is, he was like, then again, I don't know if he was just in love, like, because he was just like, after Cell took her over, he got Larry and he just attacked Cell because he was in love with her. So I think that was probably less compassion. He just really fancied her.
Yeah, which if you were a random Earthling and you knew, okay, this group of maybe like 10 people are the ones who are trying to save the Earth by defeating Cell. Because it was all filmed, remember? Mr. Satan had his crew with him. But they're like, okay, wait, what's the bald one doing? He's not going to kill the android who, if Cell gets to her, then our planet might blow up or get overtaken. What are you doing? And Krillin kind of risked the world here. And that was a huge thing that he did, which was for his own, like him and him alone, not for anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of his intentions, it was definitely his biggest mistake. And regardless of how it worked out and whether or not he's married or like who won or anything like that, he should have done it all. He should have done it. He didn't know. The thing is, like, it's the competitive argument of but Goku ended up going to see King Kai and everything like that. Nobody knew that was going to happen. Like, there was no need for Goku to die. Nobody knew that Goku was going to go see King Kai. You can argue it for days. It's a moot point because nobody knew that was going to happen. And again, nobody knew that Cell was going to be defeated. 18 should have died. Goku didn't need to die. They are two facts that, like, we've discussed this in the sacrifice thing, that Goku didn't need to die. There was an easy way for Raditz to have been defeated, and we didn't know King Kai even existed. So it's there. I would agree that they are the two biggest mistakes of those two characters, definitely. Even though Piccolo probably thoroughly enjoyed killing Goku.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I do agree with you though that when I think Z Warrior, the first person who comes to mind is Krillin, because like you said, the orange gi, I picture them all standing in a line, and Krillin's like in the center. He is the main Z Warrior. But Piccolo is the best Z Warrior. I guess those are the two picks for the Hall of Fame between Piccolo and Krillin. If you want to vote, go check out our social medias down below. You can see them right below my name right there on the screen. And go vote in the polls, and we will see who enters the Hall of Fame next week. But for now, let's move on to the hot take.
Let's go.
Hot take.
This is the hot take, the final segment of the podcast where I search the internet to find a hot take regarding Dragon Ball that some random person has written online on some random forum talking about something that they didn't like, but we are here to discuss it, see if we agree with it, see if we hate it, love it, want to get rid of it, want to take a break from Dragon Ball, who knows, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So, the topic this week, I've searched online and I found this little one, which I thought was a little bit interesting and definitely controversial. But after reading the comments in it as well, some people tended to agree. A lot of people didn't agree, but some people agreed. So yeah, we'll see anyway.
I need to hear some of the comments then if you're going to say that.
I didn't write down the comments, but
oh, devastated.
Yeah, so this is the take anyway. So this person has said, I don't like Krillin. He's always relying on others. He's weak. And he was only useful when dying to help Goku become Super Saiyan.
I've literally just used that as my Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but that's the take. And some of the comments, if I remember rightly, was just kind of relaying the point that he's weak and he kind of hides behind others or relies on others more than other characters do. Like Piccolo doesn't really rely on anyone. Trunks never relied on anyone. Even Tien, for quite a bit, he relies on himself. He doesn't expect anyone else to help him. Whereas Krillin, I guess he does kind of, in a way, he does think of himself as weaker than Goku. He relies on Goku a lot, especially. But also Android 18 in future segments of the show, I guess. Not straight away, but he realizes that Android 18 is stronger than him and kind of relies on her as well a bit. What do you think about this?
No, I mean, literally, I've just talked about how like he's literally just defeated Gohan is one thing. Like he's clever. Yeah. He knows how to. Like in original Dragon Ball, he's not. I mean, in Super and stuff like that, maybe. I think in Super, a lot of the older characters have been pretty much become a lot more throwaway, but that's kind of pretty much expected. Like you've got your main ones. Well, I suppose no, to be honest.
Everyone gets the shining moment.
A lot of them had their moments in the Tournament of Power. Everyone kind of did. I'm trying to think. Krillin did get an elimination, didn't he? I'm trying to think. He definitely got an elimination.
He would have got one. It's not coming to mind on the top of my head, but he would have got at least one.
Hold on, I've got him open on him because I was doing my research on him. Who did he get out? Yeah. Someone out. Because I know he got eliminated by Frost. So, I think he has become definitely weakened since the more recent Dragon Ball. Yeah, I think literally.
I was looking through the arcs of Krillin and trying to remember exactly what he did. Now, if you look into just original Dragon Ball, you definitely can't say he's weak and relying on others. He is a main character. He is, at least for the beginning few arcs, he is on level with Goku until Goku starts to surpass him and Krillin kind of accepts that Goku is stronger than him. But he still puts up his own fights throughout all of the tournament arcs in the series and everything else that happens. There is no point where Krillin is even considered weak. He is literally considered as the second strongest good guy behind Goku, or maybe even Roshi as well. But apart from that, he's there, and he's always there to help. Definitely not weak, definitely not relying on others. And he's great. During the Saiyan Saga, he's there, he helps out. He's the one who, at the end of Goku and Vegeta fighting, he's the one left standing who is literally about to kill Vegeta with a sword, and Goku tells him to stop. But yeah, he's one of the last people standing at that point. and he almost finishes the job. Now that would have changed Dragon Ball completely if Krillin just decides, bang, okay, Vegeta's dead now. But yeah, even through the Namek saga, yes, he does die and everything, but he's also a huge help throughout the entire saga. Him, Vegeta, and Gohan especially have a lot of interactions. They team up a lot of times to help out. During the Cell saga, this is where he starts to fade off a bit, I think. Yes, we already mentioned it, but he doesn't kill Android 18 when he has the chance with the remote. And he kind of turns into a background character against Cell. And this is where I think he starts to rely on others, because he is not in the foreground and he doesn't hold his own, and he's kind of just there. And then in the Buu saga, when I'm thinking about it, I can't remember him doing anything really throughout the Buu saga. I don't know if you can or not, but nothing is coming to mind for me for anything helpful he does at all.
No, he mostly hangs out on Kami's lookout.
Yeah,
for the most part.
exactly.
I think he literally just hangs out on Kami's lookout with everybody, because he's with Yamcha and everybody like that. Basically, they stay out the way.
Exactly. And then
I've just
Super...
found,
sorry.
I mean, Super, I've just found out what he did in Tournament of Power here.
Right.
He did actually help out quite a lot. He used his Destructo disc to injure Dion's wing, which allowed Master Roshi to blast somebody out the ring.
Yeah.
Saved 18 from getting blasted out, and 18 did loads. So if 18 hadn't if 18 had been eliminated, then because 18 is a lot stronger than Krillin, so I mean, it is an acknowledgement. I know it's not a great thing, but still, Andy eliminated Majora, and then after that, that is when he got eliminated by Frost.
Yeah.
So he got an elimination, he got an assist, and he saved 18. So he's 1.5 and a big save.
Yeah, like Krillin is definitely a support type character. He's not an attacker, he's not a defender, he's support. He's a support main. And I think this is why he relies on others. I understand the point of this poster, whoever it was, saying that he relies on others, but I don't agree fully. He is a support, and he knows this. He's already acknowledged and admitted that other people are stronger than him, but he doesn't let that become a hindrance, I guess. He always, when he needs to fight, he does, and he's always there to support others, and he always helps out as much as he can. He just knows he's not as strong, and I think that's it. It's not even really a weakness, because we all know as fans of the show that the Saiyans are the strongest people and always will be. The androids probably second, and then Piccolo third. But they're all not humans. Krillin is just a human, and he is a top-level human. There isn't really anyone stronger than Krillin as a human, apart from maybe Master Roshi and maybe Tien. But that's it. You know, so he is always there, and that is his limit. He has done as much as he can possibly do.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at the Golden Frieza saga, it's like, I mean, he knows his limits. He's being a police officer. He's still doing the right thing throughout his life. He knows his limitations, but he's still always trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
When he's needed, he answers the call. When all the Frieza soldiers came, he came and he answered the call, and he was fighting. He did a lot. He was fighting the Frieza soldiers. He took out plenty of them. He never wants to, but he still recognizes his limitations. But when the call comes, he does his bit. He took out a lot of the soldiers.
Yeah.
But he knows he's not going to beat Frieza, but he'll do his bit.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing really wrong with that. Not everybody can be the guy who beats the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like the poster and a few comments were all kind of agreeing that he's weak, but how many strong characters do you really need in the show? Like, not everyone can be on the same level, and Krillin is like the perfect example of being at his limit, being strong, but nowhere near as strong as the main characters, and also still being useful. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's fine that he's weaker. Like, that's more than fine, in my eyes, at least, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he's still he was still willing to attack Buu. He attacked Buu on the lookout. He attacked Perfect Cell. He attacked normal Cell. Like, he's attacking. He's still taking swings at people he knows are well beyond him.
Yeah.
And he attacked Raccoon on Namek. These people he knows fine well are totally beyond him, and he's still willing to take a crack at him. So I think it's very unfair to say that he's just hiding behind other people.
Yeah.
Like, he was terrified of Frieza because he's Frieza. Like,
and Frieza was the ultimate evil at that point in the show.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, literally, Frieza blew him up from the inside out. I remember I think we reacted to it, and I'd forgotten the scene. And when I saw it, because it had been, I think, 15 years plus since I'd seen it, I'd literally forgotten what the scene looked like. And when I saw it, it genuinely surprised me because he did blow up from the inside out. It was very surprising. I did not remember it was quite so. So it's understandable that like that sort of thing would scare someone like Krillin, but he's just a human. But he's still, after that, he's still willing to attack people like Cell, and he can sense Ki. He knows how powerful Cell is. He knows how powerful Boo is. Still takes a swing at them.
Yeah.
That's not hiding behind people. Like, that's still doing something. And I think, so what if he's weak, if he's still willing to do that? Like, more power to him. Like, he's not a Saiyan, but not everyone is. If everybody was a Saiyan, if everyone was Super Saiyan Blue, then
you'll be bored.
Yeah, because then, like, imagine fighting Zamasu with, like, every single Z Warrior being Super Saiyan Blue. Like, he'd be immortal, but they'd just be constantly, like, just absolutely rolling him into the ground because he wouldn't be able to stand up because they'd just be absolutely just pounding him into the ground.
Yeah, they'd be like, let's go in shifts. Let's save our energy. Okay, who's up first? Krillin? Tien, you want to go first? Yeah, go for it.
Like, it would just be pointless. Like, there has to be a cast of characters who are different.
Yeah.
There has to be supporting characters.
And he is the ultimate support, like I said.
Yeah. He's a Z warrior. There are Z warriors, and these are the supporting characters who aren't as powerful. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think it's silly, these people in the comments who are saying, yes, he's weak. Yeah, Yamcha's weak. He's like, so's Tien. What are they expecting? They're going to expect Chaozu to go kick some ass next. Like, how? Like,
yeah, like, you don't need to have everyone strong, and you don't even necessarily need to like everyone, but you can't say that he's useless, and you can't say that he's just there. I guess he is always around. He's the ultimate support character. He is there when he's needed. He does his part, and he does it well. And we need someone like him in the show. He's the perfect person to do that. Like, imagine if they had Vegeta be like Krillin, but he's also strong. Like, it wouldn't work. You need someone to be there to take the hits, to show that the strong people are actually strong, because you need a punching bag, and sometimes Krillin is the perfect person for that. He showed how much of a threat Frieza was because he blew him up, and it's like, oh my god, Krillin's dead. Yeah, Frieza's strong. He's able to do this. You need someone like that.
You need someone to literally just flex on, and that's basically what Frieza did. He literally just, like, this person is nothing to me.
Yeah.
And because they couldn't exactly do that to Gohan. Like, you can't just blow up the main character's son. Like, it's not Game of Thrones, however.
Even for Dragon Ball, I think killing a kid like that would have been
It's Dragon Ball Z. It's not Game of Thrones, however. Like, no, I disagree with the take. I think people are being
too harsh.
I feel like this is a Reddit take. Like, it's a bit too it's a bit too cruel. No, I disagree with it. I think you need characters like this in any story.
Yeah.
That there's always going to have your stronger characters, such as Goku, such as Vegeta, and everyone like that. They are the heroes, and then you have your supporting characters, and that is exactly what he is.
Yeah.
And he has his moments, and he always has his hero moments, like when he attacked Cell and everything like that. And yes, he didn't do anything, but you give it the college try.
Yeah.
And
he's a necessity. And I agree with you. I think he's needed. Not everyone needs to be strong. You don't need to have people going all out full power, because then it just gets boring. So having someone like Krillin is fine and necessary.
He's a valiant little Krillin.
Of course.
I like him that way, and I don't want him to change.
Yeah. Me too. So I think we both disagree with this take. I think that's fair to say. So I think that's a good way to end the podcast. So if you all enjoyed it, please like it up, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Check out the polls in our social medias for the Hall of Fame segment. And other than that, we will see you all next time.
Yeah.